Hello, welcome. My name is Mark Blatstein, the physician founder, Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. Welcome. It is May 30, around 9 p.m., and I am calling you from a high-rise condominium in Rockville, Maryland, where I guess we had a slight rainstorm. And as I look out my window to the mountains looking west, everybody's out of power. And so this may cut off at some point, but all I see is black, and the building I'm in has electricity. So fingers crossed, as they say. So today, here's my website, Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service, White Collar Sentencing Mitigation Solutions. My phone number is 240-888-7778. And should you find yourselves indicted, especially if you think it's on the criminal side, give me a call. The consultation's free. 240-888, as I said, 778. If you're indicted and you think you're facing prison, don't give up. It's not to the end of the world. Everything that happens here is going to be temporary. So I'm going to pull down. This is the homepage of my website, and I'm going to come down to the bottom. And today we're going to discuss something that everyone is going to be excited about. 2 days ago, there was an email that went out. Actually, it appeared on the Federal Bureau of Prisons website regarding home confinement. And essentially, for years, there's been a push to move those who are eligible, instead of sending them to halfway house, to send them directly to home confinement if they qualify. So let me pull this up. Actually, that did not open correct. Let me do it again and do it my way. And here we go. And so this comes from the Federal Bureau of Prisons. They issues a directive from, this is the new warden, that they're going to expand the the ability to get home confinement. And the new director is William K. Marshall III, and he's going to be the new director, the BOP director. And he's going to expand the use, or at least implement what is already there, the ability to those who are eligible under the First Step Act and then Second Chance Act. And so by putting those both together, piggybacking them together for those who are eligible, you then should be able to move into home confinement. So the caveat's going to be is that it seems to me that this guy, fingers are crossed, but hope springs eternal, that he probably is going to be able to make a difference, which I don't think anyone has heard me say ever. And the priority is going to be why those who are going to be able to get home confinement is that those who don't need some sort of structured support. For those who have been in prison a longer period of time and may not have anywhere to go, or may need some time to land on their feet, to get a job, to get a place to live, they may really want to have that option to go to a halfway house. But a halfway house is not going to be that pleasurable. But again, this is in the works. I wouldn't expect it happening right away. I have some clients who are in prison, and I have copy pasted this into the TrueLinks, the email system that everyone uses. And so this happened on May 28th. So let me see if I can make this bigger. Probably can, but you may not be able to see it anyway. And you can't. So this is a directive from the Bureau of Prisons. I can make it larger. The problem is that you're still not going to be able to read it. But it's going to come down to this. Home confinement is going to be a priority for those who are eligible and do not require the structured support of a halfway house, which makes sense. The use of conditional placement dates, the unit teams, and the First Step Act, Second Chance Act conditional placement dates. These are going to be based on projected earned time credits that people are expected to earn towards pre-release planning. And so we all know, or if you don't, you're going to learn very quickly that things have not been running as smoothly as supposed to. And you can't really blame this on the staff in the BOP. There are going to be some staff, case managers, unit team that are really doing their best. And there are others that, are not getting trained, not getting the support they need from those that are above them, or essentially from Grand Prairie, Texas, which is where from all these orders are disseminated. And so you can't really blame them if they don't know what to do. And you wind up, or the inmates or the families, or those of us, who are on the outside, wind up knowing more than the case managers and unit team in some cases, but there's not much we can do from the outside. There is going to be It can, because it's going to be an individualized referral process. So it's going to be still based on each person is going to be evaluated individually. So it all comes down to how do you make yourself stand out? And if if you've been lucky enough to work with me, then this is going to be old news. If you haven't, then this is going to be new news, which is in preparation for your pre-sentence interview. At the very, very beginning, the last thing you're thinking about as you're preparing for your for the interview to get all the information that the probation officer wants. You're a little spastic about having to like go get sentenced, maybe go to prison, maybe you're gonna cooperate. You don't know what's going to happen. You're going into maybe into trial. Then you either win or you lose the trial. Then you have to go through the pre-sentence interview process, and they say you can appeal. And I can give you my story on my appeal, which didn't go over real well. Which in the end, I did appeal and I lost, and I had to go back to prison. But how do you stand out? And so by starting your release plan, as I try and explain, it's premature to think that you can have your pre-release plan before you even start. And that's a given. But there are certain things you can do. And so this is the actual letter, the memo that came out for immediate release, May 28th, from the Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Prisons. You can go to my website and find it. But as we go down the page, and these are the new directives that I was reading to you. How do you demonstrate that you qualify? How are you going to stand out? And so as you're getting all your information together for the pre-sentence interview, ultimately your judge is going to want to know at some point. They don't want to see you back in their courtroom again. They're going to want to know your plan. And so what is going to be your plan? And that plan is going to be a reentry plan. So part of your plan is going to be basic information that you have a support structure at home. You have people that love you at home. You have you live in a safe neighborhood, hopefully. You have asked for and gotten, hopefully, letters that attest to your character. And if by chance you know someone, it can be, someone who, is either a religious leader in a synagogue, a Muslim I forget the name. I'm sorry. But or they have enough business where you can sit down at a mosque. Or you can they have a business, a restaurant, or they have some sort of business, and they're willing to write down that nobody has a crystal ball to know what the business is going to be like. It doesn't matter the length of your sentence, but once you get released, they'd be willing to hire you if they have the ability to do that because they know and trust you for a long time, and they want to give you that opportunity. And that is a great letter to have. It's a great. I'm giving you a short rendition of it, but that is a great character reference letter. Obviously, you want more information in there, but that letter does a lot of things. For one, it gives peace to the judge because already the judge is going to think that you're thinking about you're going to do what you're going to do when you're out of prison, that you're not going to be just roaming around willy-nilly and doing nothing. And so that is going to give them a little bit of peace of mind. Plus, once you go into prison, this is going to be part of your pre-sentence report. And so already your case managers are going to know that maybe he has a job. Nobody has a crystal ball. But if they know at least that you've been trying and that offer's out there, and as long as you don't get in trouble, and if you have a financial penalty with the court and you participated with the financial responsibility program, and as long as you don't talk on a cell phone and you stay out of trouble, and what I call it is that you have insurance when you go into prison, and that's another YouTube. But you just do things to show that you're participating in constructive behavior in addition to the First Step Back programs that you're taking. But by having everything documented, in addition to that character reference letter, as you get closer to release, then they may go ahead and say, I don't know the position that you're in. I know nothing about you. You may have a job. Maybe your family has a business. And if the business was not involved in your charge, that's great. Then you can do that. And you can have a letter to that effect. But having you get the idea, having all of this documented before you get to that interview is information that's going to help the judge and it's going to help the case manager and unit team because eventually all of the prisons across the country are going to get this memo and the case managers are going to have to start acting according to the memo. And that I'm not, there's no guarantees. Nobody can guarantee you what the judge or the Bureau of Prisons is going to do. I can't guarantee it. But what I can guarantee is that if you do nothing, then you're going to be stuck with the rest of the group, and some will go to halfway house and some will go home. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a safe day. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen. And I'm grateful to the tornado gods for keeping our power on. As I look around, it's black outside everywhere I look. Hope you have a safe day and you found this helpful.